Your neighborhood JPGF from 30 with the homie J Note. Damn, it's crazy.
Yep. I think I like erase some stuff. Probably because my battery dying. That's why. Yeah, my battery dying. Boy, come on.
Okay. What's up?
What's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the bro, Jamal, and I'm here with my childhood friend. You know, we ain't seen each other in over 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh, matter of fact, let me get back. This is the Iron Echo, and I'm the host, Jamal Lewis, and I'm here with my bro, Alcohol. What you call yourself now?
PGF from 30. You know what I mean? AKA PGF from 30.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Trying to re-link up after all these years. Being home for about 6 months. So, bro, so what you been up to?
Man, listen, I've been really just trying to focus. Like, to be honest with you, I've been fasting. I've been meditating. You know what I mean? I've been really trying to block the world out and tap in with the higher power. You know what I mean? Because I realized, like, without that, you know what I mean? The world is a distraction, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The world is a distraction, and it's just like besides, doing the regular, paying my bills, taking care of my family, man. I've just been doing the inner work. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at, really, in my life.
Something happened recently that makes you want to do that, or just something you felt?
Yeah, I mean, I went through a little situation with my kid's mother. You know what I mean? That I could speak on, but it was just like, it helped me look at my part. Because, it's like we want to blame other people, you know what I mean, for what we go through. But at the end of the day, you got to accept responsibility for your part, you know what I mean? And so I just had to do some self-reflection. Like, I went from, you know what I mean, like, I had to read, I had 10 years clean. I came to an understanding that I had a problem with, substance abuse. You know what I mean? Back in the day, we used to smoke and drink. And that's how we cope with everything. Like, I remember when they sentenced you, bro. You know what I mean? I remember when they sentenced you. Like, that was probably one of the hardest times besides losing my father at 13. You know what I mean? Being 16 years old, seeing my brother get, you know what I mean, a life sentence, man. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely. I mean, you've always made me aware of that. You know what I mean? The impact that I had on you and stuff like that. You always made me aware of that.
True story.
I always look back at that too. And always think about the impact. You know what I mean? Because during my incarceration, I did see y'all come in and out.
True story.
Rod,
True.
my brother.
True.
I seen y'all come in, so I'm always sitting back. Even Malik, I'm sitting back and I'm just looking like, damn, what part did I play in the decisions y'all made that made whatever offense or crime that you was incarcerated for happen? What part did I play in that? You know what I mean?
Because I mean, at the end of the day, you was like our hero. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you was the one who wasn't afraid of nothing, that stood on business with situations like, you know what I mean? Like, dudes who maybe we would have been afraid of, you know what I mean? The real killers out here who had names, like, you stood amongst them and they was afraid of you. You feel what I'm saying? Dudes that used to chase us home, you'll be like, what? He chased you home? And you'll go get them niggas and fuck them up. You know what I mean? So it's like, you was our hero. So it's like, for you to put yourself out there, you know what I mean? And then you to be taken away from it. I'm telling you, because it's like, when you left, it broke the whole squad apart. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we split into sections. It wasn't the whole team no more. Now it's like, these dudes over here. We were still 3RD, like, we were still the family, but we still had the Pimp Squad over here, Capone organization over there. You feel what I'm saying? We had the little different fractions. You know what I mean? And we only came together, just like with Prince Street, when shit go bad and everybody fall in line. But, you know what I mean? It had an impact, because I guess some people wanted to live up to who you was and keep that energy going, you know what I mean? And it really did make people feel us, you know what I mean? Because, my bad.
So I was thinking about that too, like when I was hearing about the different fractions. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is going on? Like literally, like, what is they doing? I didn't really understand that because we mob up in one house, like my house,
that
my house.
part, exactly.
And we shared sneakers, clothes, food, everything. So
exactly.
when I was hearing that, I'm like, damn, what the fuck is going on?
What
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was real family, real brothers. We didn't even put no label on it. We just lived. You know what I'm saying? We just was living like we just lived life. I just come to your house, come to my house. We play games at your house, come to my house. We eat, we change clothes. We don't change clothes.
We wear each other's clothes.
All that. All that. You know what I mean? And there wasn't no limit on it. You know what I mean? Like, and then to hear all that, the different fractions, I'm like, damn, what's going on? You know what I mean? Then, like you said, when y'all came together with 3RD thing, it was like y'all was all coming back together again. Because at that point, when I was going, you and OD was basically like the nucleus now. Because OD, our big bro, he always was, teaching us really to understand the grind and hustle.
True stuff.
And then because you always kept the culture. You the culture of 3RD. You always been the culture because you always told our story. Right?
True stuff.
And so y'all became the nucleus. So whatever y'all did was
it affect the whole squad.
It
basically like it was the compass that said, okay, this is the direction we going in. And then everybody, but at the same time, see, it started with the drugs, the money, and the women. You know what I mean? Like when niggas start having kids, getting baby mamas, you know what I mean? And it's like, because at one time it was a free fall. It's like it was about us and not the women. You know what I mean? So it's like we taking turns on them. You know what I mean? And it went from that to like now people cuffing. Like, no, this is my girl, you know what I mean? And wishing somebody, so now they gotta keep, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what separated, you know what I mean? People start going in different directions.
Start growing up, trying to be men. Because like you said, in the beginning we was all over the place, right?
Sure.
No script. Until not even gonna say we started trying to formulate until other elements came in. Like for instance, my co-defendant, when they came in, guys, then we started identifying and started labeling our stuff.
Yeah, you're
right. But prior to that, we was just in it. We sold drugs, got a little bit of money, did that. We got hyper focused. We got hyper focused then. At a time when we shouldn't have been that focused. I tell people like at that time when we started selling heroin. So at that time, wasn't nobody in our age bracket selling heroin. Right? So now we already doing adult stuff in regards to the game. We selling heroin. Not only we selling it at a rate where we controlling something.
True stuff.
Our particular spot on the block is doing numbers, right?
Doing big numbers.
Big numbers. Prior to us, you had, 180. I mean, you had 178, 280, 260, but at this particular time, they wasn't really jumping like that because for some reason it had died down. So now the back building is popping. It's going off, right? So now we got to deal with that, and then we got to deal with we coming of age. We got to deal with this new reality of coming with more money. I remember at a time we had different women just coming up here, just popping up for no reason. Like we don't even know where they from. Yeah, like
squads of women.
Where they coming from? Like
just one. Like somebody meet one. They like, we got for bring the family. Yeah, and like we had everybody picking one. Like you know what I mean?
Parties.
Yeah, like it was crazy.
Having parties down there, all that stuff was crazy, man.
But it's like when the guns and the gangs and the drugs came into the picture, it started to change because it's like people would have fallouts over money. You know what I mean? A lot of that created the fractions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, that's what it did. Because that's literally why I went to prison. It was over drugs and money. You know what I mean? The more money, the more you wanted, the more things you wanted to do because it was about power grab. Right? It was a dynamic. We wanted to control the whole area. We already had the area.
You're right.
We already had this
like
area.
You said, that dude coming in, he changed our mind. Like he made us see it from a different point of view. Like, all right, now we moving like that. Oh, y'all letting them come over here? Nah, you can't. Nah, this our shit. You know what I mean? Now we taking territory. Now we all over the place. Now we, you know what I mean? And we started like it was people who we, from the other side and things like that, who we was always family with,
cool with.
And now all of a sudden we beefing with them. You know what I mean? We going through shit with them. Like it definitely changed.
All that changed until like I said, everybody started doing their bids, everybody started having kids and stuff like that. And so I'm inside, I'm just watching, I'm just listening, and a lot of times, like even when I was in the county, a lot of ways I would stay tuned in was through your music.
Okay.
Peace be upon him, Stretch. Remember Stretch at the time? He was going to Newark Tech. And the teacher that was working in the county, because I was a juvenile, so I got picked up. So she worked in Newark Tech too. She was a guidance counselor. Okay. So what she would do is she would be the go-between me and Stretch.
Okay.
So I would tell Stretch, go get out tapes, give it to to the teacher, the guidance counselor, she gonna get them to me. So then I would get the tapes and then I would listen, right? And that's how I would know exactly everything that was like really going on, because you kept, like I said, you was the coach. You gave a little script. You wasn't verbatim with what y'all was doing, but you would say, all right, you mentioned some weed, so now y'all smoking airy, then y'all move the red line. I'm knowing that from your lyrics, because I ain't getting that in there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done went from Perry Ellis to Perisuco. I'm getting that from your lyrics. When you did the shit, when you did the blocks, when you start naming, all that.
Telling you the story, everything that's going on in the hood.
So all the way back to, remember that one you did, and it's so crazy because what's them guy's name? They used it. They used the whole beat and everything. That Gilligan's beat.
Oh yeah,
you did that.
Right in his time about these 14 boys.
You did that when we was like 13, 12, 13 years old. And then they used the Hot Boys used that beat. I said, yo, did that. This story that I was I was like, yo, when I heard that, I was like, yo, bro was way before his time.
Yeah, that's
with
crazy.
That one.
That's crazy. I forgot about that. That's it,
yeah. I remember all that, bro.
That's crazy, but yo, man, it's like it always, and the craziest thing, like, cause like you were saying, you still became motivation for a lot of the things we did, because it's like, we trying to get this, even though we fucked up because we on drugs and we, now man, we gotta get these lawyers for Jay. We gotta, look, before Jay said it, look, you really sit here and did 33 years, bro, and came home on your own. Like, that's crazy, because it's like, you couldn't tell us, like, we wasn't gonna get you out of there. Like, I remember we talking in my rounds, I'm talking about us breaking you out, all that shit. I'm like, man, I think back, like, yo, man, they got tanks. Like, we really thinking we about to go to war with the government, like, with your head Tezabal, though, like, yo, but we was like, yo, I'll never forget that shit. Like, yo, but yeah, we you know, it was always that. So it went from, you know what I mean, thinking we gonna get you out, to now it's like, all right, let's at least have something when you come home. You know what I mean? But it always been that. It always been that motivation. And that's why it fucked me up, because like I was saying, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, getting clean, it helped me, you know, I changed my life. I was living, you know what I mean? I was married to money, like, you know what I mean? I was living money wasn't a problem. I was living my best day, you know, getting a record deal. And I think that's probably the reason why I didn't sell my soul. You feel me? Because I had money. I was living, we was eating. The knuckle bus was doing numbers, crazy numbers. You feel what I'm saying? And then, you know, I was married to money, so it's like, I wasn't starving. You feel what I'm saying? I literally was fronting everything. Like, we was paying, me and Steve O.D. was paying for everything. Our photo shoots, our whole studio session. Like, we ain't need no advance. You feel what I'm saying? So we all that money was gonna be ours. We ain't owe the label nothing. You feel what I'm saying? But it was just, we ain't get down. You know what I mean? We in that Atlanta party. You know what I mean? We ain't get down and we ain't get the deal. But, you know, I realized, man, I started smoking weed. When they legalized marijuana, you know what I mean? I started smoking. And it was like, it went from just smiling it. You know what I mean? Then it was like, all right, damn, blow that shit in my face. You know what I mean? Then it's like, damn, give me a shotgun. Then it's like, all right, I'm smoking. Then I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna smoke before I go to work, because I know I got a job. I'm on a forklift. Then it's like, yo, now I'm smoking before work. Now I'm taking the blunt to work. You feel what I'm saying? Now I'm hitting the blunt. Now I'm like, I'm only smoking on my break. You know what I mean? Now I'm taking breaks. It ain't even my break. You know what I mean? I'm leaving out, and I'm talking about this just weed. You feel me?
You
like when you got addicted mentality, you feel what I'm saying? It just kept the progression. That's what they talk about in recovery, the progression, bro. It went from and I'm talking about all just weed. It went from that. It went from barely able to hit a joint to now I'm buying, especially living in Colorado, you know, I'm buying $70 zips. You know what I mean? Ounces. Every week. Smoking every week. I mean, every week, bro. You know what I mean? And it was like running through a zip a week. Like it was nothing. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Fuck that job. You know what I mean? Now it's like, man, fuck these bills. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about just smoking weed. This shit had me living out my car. You know what I mean? Homeless living in my car. You know what I mean? So I had to leave all that shit alone. And then, you know, the drinking came with that. So it took me all the way down.
That was like I remember seeing Ice-T. Ice-T had said something about game. He was talking to a little kid, and I never forget the statement. He was like, the little kid, he said, game ain't coming out, you know, and selling drugs and smoking and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you live around it, that shit normal, right? Game is like growing up in that shit and playing the cop on TV. He said growing up in that shit, making a song called Cop Killer, then playing a cop on TV. So what you saying is like it's hard to walk away from that because that was like natural to us because it was in our environment. It was so much around us, right? The last thing we discovered is that it was something that wasn't needed or necessary for us to be functioning. So we utilize that thing as a mechanism to help us function with our reality.
True story.
Right? And because it was so prevalent and so present around us that we thought it was necessary. Like it was like that shit was like an appendage. Like I remember times like just to think about it, like waking up and just roll over, grab a blunt. Not roll over, kiss your girl. Roll over her, grab a blunt. Know what I mean? We going downstairs immediately to go smoke and go hang with each other and do anything before we can even think and function. So it's easy to like years later on to come back to that stuff and to think that this is something that you needed to aid you further on in life because it was already something that it's like damn, it was in our DNA because you know parents, friends, everybody around us, the community was doing it. It wasn't even frowned upon, especially marijuana or drinking. The other stuff was we frowned upon that. We look at them differently. But the like you said, smoking, we was smoking weed like bro, I remember before we went to Atlantic City, we was smoking weed like only on Fridays. We went down there, came back, next like you said, whole zip. We just buying zips like left and right, like what?
All day, every day.
All day, every day.
You know, it's almost like, you know what I mean? I don't want to put it on Red Man and Method Man, you feel what I'm saying? But that music, that smoke, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we had to smoke all day, every day. Cheech and Chong and shit. You know
I was telling the young brother the other day in the car, I was like, yo, my bros, they made this shit up called herb tea. They probably doing it now. I said, bro, niggas was buying straight boogie, boil it, and then mix it with honey and drink it.
Word.
Yeah, and then drink it. Like this and then drink that and then smoke. Like smoke the real shit from New York, smoke with the formula, the goods, they would call that A Black. Go get that from New York. But the garbage around here, boil that, put that in the pot with the strainer, drop it, boom, get the THC out of that thing, boom, put honey in it like it's tea and just drink it.
That's deep.
Crazy. Like
I remember, I'm telling you, man.
Crazy, like all type of stuff we was doing, bro. Like, but now.
Yeah, it's like now, I got 2.5 years clean, and it was like, and it was like this time. See, before when I got clean, I was facing 30 years because with the 3 strikes in Jersey, like I was on my 2nd strike. You know what I mean, hold on before I go into that, because that's why I was on my phone. I was trying to find this picture, bro.
Oh.
I was trying to find that.
Oh, yeah. All this when we in the
that?
club.
Sensation.
Yeah. Damn.
You know what I mean? Did I pull it out too much?
Yeah, I see that.
Man?
It's me, you, Red, Wop, my D.
Rest in peace.
Ali Moo, Rashad, Rock, cut up in there. Why Jid? I ain't see why Jid and God knows when. Sal. You got my D.
That's crazy. Like I never forget that day. You know what I mean? And you see me right there.
You
know what I mean? Right there behind Big Bro. You know what I mean? Right there. That's crazy though. We was 16.
We was 16 and
You feel what I'm saying?
Babies,
We was babies, bro.
Like
that's so crazy. You know what I mean? Up in sensation, y'all. You know what I mean? That's a legendary photo right there. You know what I mean? And it just always remind me, like, because I remember that day like yesterday. I just remember being a part of, you know what I mean, going with y'all, like, I'm with the Killers now. You feel me? Like, this series, like, it's like, get it right. Cause bro got me in, you know what I mean? Watching for me, like, you know what I mean? Validated, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I remember all that shit. I remember being scared to fight. You like, nigga, if you don't fight that nigga back, like, what? Hold up, nigga. You don't let that nigga play with you like that, you feel what I'm saying? And it took all of that, you know what I mean, to come from being a little church boy, you know what I mean?
I know Reek told me that too not too long ago. Like, and Malik told me like, yo, Reek fights, and then you told Reek, I said, bro, like we was it. That's all we had. You know what I mean? So we had to do that. And that came from me having to fight all these different brothers. All the time. Every day I was fighting. It was crazy, man. Every day or every other day. So Rod coming to get me, more hard hitting coming to get me. Who else coming to get me? So many people coming to get me. I'm losing, still going, but like I said, I'm winning and I'm losing gracefully to the point where niggas like, yo, that nigga crazy though. I'm gonna see him again. You got to fight. You got to fight that nigga again. Like he ain't gonna stop it. You know what I mean? So it is what
it's
it is.
Blessing. You know, I was talking to Homicide. Shout out to Homicide. I was talking to Homicide, and I was saying, you know, we both were saying like, yo, we ain't see the blessing because y'all still here.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It was like that time preserved y'all.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the wild, like after y'all left, all the wild ones, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Al Capone, rest in peace, Doc Key, rest in peace, Mook Capone, you feel what I'm saying? All the wild ones ain't here no more, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like, so it's a blessing to still have y'all amongst us. It's a blessing for y'all to still be here because, you know, that lifestyle, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's why I love what you're doing here with these kids, man. Like, it's a blessing to come see this podcast studio, the studio over here, the computer studio, the video booth. Like, yo, it's a blessing. Like that's what we were saying. We had something like this when we was kids, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine if Facebook existed when we was kids?
Oh, man.
Us going live on the block. We going live on the hill, bro.
Yeah, a lot of stuff would have been crazy. Man, because we was definitely into getting fly, too. So, and then you know what I mean? All like playing around. But, you know, a lot of the stuff, I'm not really like, I don't really like go off on the young brothers because, like you said, we was playing around with things too. So we'd had the sticks all in the face and doing all that dumb shit, flashing, doing all that stuff too, stuff. Because we was getting to it then, because we was getting to it. We was getting to it bag early. So definitely, so we'd have been doing it. And a part of the reason I tell people that, like, a part of the reason why I end up doing so much time, it ain't the fact that I was in there wild. You know, you got to defend yourself, you got to do all that stuff. It's the initial thing, right? It was the trial, like. I should have copped out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think about that. What they offer you, a 5 to 15?
They offered that. No, I was trying to get a 5 with a 15. They had a 30 with a 15. I went to the first trial, got a hung jury. They offered a 20 with a 10. So I was trying to get it down to the 5 with a 15. But the thing was that we was doing so good. Didn't want to, you know, you don't want to walk away from that. That'd be the hard thing about taking that deal. Because you leaving a situation when we doing good. Remember, we going in the restaurants. It's so crazy. We connecting tables, right? So like I said, I always tell some people like, yo, we was getting so much money like at one time. I don't even remember counting. We just was spending.
We just was putting it up.
Yeah, we just
like,
spending.
We couldn't count it. We just grabbing what we need,
and just
filling our pockets and going and buying shit. It got so much money.
Like, yo, so that's what my thing was like. So now, how do you walk away from that? Right.
Like you missing out on something. And it seemed like a long time. Until you did the time. It's like, yo, for you to.
Till I got the year 10 and be like, yo, I'd have been popping out. I got the year 10. Yeah. And I'm hearing what niggas doing at year 10. Niggas got 600s. Niggas got all this stuff. I'm like, damn. So I'm inside. I'm like, damn. I'd have probably been doing the same thing or died, or that my gun, I'd have been going crazy with this gun thing.
That part.
At the same time, I had to sit down and be humble and said, yeah, I'm where I'm supposed to be at. Because we already, you already know how we was running in the streets.
That's right,
and if you walk away for certain things like that, let's just say if I'd have beat it. I went to try and beat it.
Yeah.
How we would have been.
Came home like, everybody, yo, he beat that Homicide.
Yeah.
He beat that.
We'd have been going. We'd have been. I sit there and I'd be like, bro, I would have had, we'd had like 200 some years.
Yeah.
Because we was already acting crazy.
Bodies at the body.
Yeah, we'd already acting crazy.
Yeah.
We'd been acting crazy, bro. I said, damn, yo, if I'd have beat that, the power dynamic that we would experience.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been crazy because we already had, as young as hell, we already had our own building. And then remember, the reason why I went to jail, we was telling people they couldn't hustle in the building in front of us.
That part.
You can't hustle over there.
Yeah.
And you can't hustle over there. And you can't hustle over there.
Yeah.
So we was already doing that. So now I beat that, and then because after that we got everybody else went into it for bodies. Right? You know what I'm saying? They walking out of them. Bro, we'd have been crazy. We'd have been with all these people on social media talking about feds, these big groups and crime.
We still a show though. We still legendary though. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's not, because I remember talking to somebody about it. They like, but you don't want to promote that. You feel what I'm saying? Because Brick City Gangster, I already had it. You know what I mean? Brick City Gangster. They grew up in Stella Wright homes. I can see it now. I can see it now. Telling stories about Big Bim, Sheed and Bim. You know what I mean? all the old heads, you know what I mean? Johnny Miller, all the old heads, you know what I mean? Ali Khan, like, you know what I mean? The legends who paved the way for us, you feel me? The ones who paved the way for us. Yeah, Al-Jamul Ashmore, you know what I mean?
That's just on our side. We ain't talking about the other side.
True story, you know what I mean? Kane Way's in, you know what I mean?
We ain't talking about no, but it's just so crazy just to be thinking about all that. So, like I said, I always sit back and I think, and like, you know, you say hindsight, you know, 2020, and I just look at the whole big picture and be like, yo, we were really kids. It was just that. We was kids, right? And we was acting and functioning as if we were adults, maybe because
we had to feed ourselves. That's what you're talking about, right? We fed ourselves, we clothed ourselves. Like, we had to take care of our parents. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? Bless our dads and shit. You know what I mean?
And the crazy thing is,
at early age. And they was the structure. So once the structure was gone, our moms was, you know what I mean, doing what they do.
And we wasn't listening to them. You know what I mean?
Part at all. Yeah.
And the crazy part is, like, when you look at it, right? It's nothing spectacular that happened. It's just the hood. Everybody was doing it, but when you're a kid, you think your household was the only household going through. So listen, I had to sit one day. I was sitting there and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, yo, we had a couple of us had our fathers in our house.
True.
Like, we was operating like we had no fathers. I'm like, damn, hold up. Our father was there, my father was there, P father was there, Sherrod father. Like, our fathers was there. Like, hold up. They may have died, but they died at a time when we were still transitioning to men, but it wasn't like we was baby. We was 15, 14, like these times when they transitioned. Like, damn, like, I'm thinking like, yo, we had fathers. Like, we wasn't in those single family homes, you know what I mean? Like, I had to sit back and think, but, you know, you have to have that space to see that, right? And for me, it was, you know, incarceration. I went to prison. I sat back and I saw overlooking my life, like going back and looking at different things, how, you know, I could have made a different decision, and why I didn't make that decision, and why I was operating like that.
That's what. Hey, yo, that's why I'm gonna make sure I share this with you when we post this. But yo, bro, when you were saying about the kids and shit, you know what I mean? And I was just thinking, like, when you was telling me, like, you know what I mean, I want you to come talk to the kids and shit. And that's the first thing I was thinking about, like, yo, 5 minutes of your life, you know what I mean, could cost you 50 years. You know what I mean? Just a split second somebody disrespect you. And it's like how you handle it. Because you ain't thinking in them small amount of time, you know what I mean? That little emotional roller coaster could take you for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? For the sake of, you know, your friends, you know what I mean? Feeling like you gotta prove something, you know what I mean? And I've learned, man, as I got older, I learned how to be humble. I've learned how to just, you know what I mean? Like this, I was trying to get through in traffic. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Traffic, definitely do it.
You know what I mean? And it was this white boy. You know what I mean? It's like he was good, but it was a lady in front of me. So I was just beeping at her like, yo, if you move up, I could get through. She wasn't looking. She wasn't saying nothing. So I'm just like, but for some reason he took it. He like, there's nowhere to go. What are you doing? Like, just wait. And yo, when I looked at him, but I ain't even say nothing because I'm like, you don't even know, bro. And I'm just like, it ain't even worth it. Like, at this point, you know what I mean? It would turn into something that ain't got to turn to. I could just wait. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I could just wait. It ain't that serious. But, you know, it's just like, yo, at this point in our life, you know what I mean? Because, like, we at the other opposite end of our years, you know what I mean? So now it's like, how do we leave our legacy? What is it? And, I mean, for me, it's like, I want to be able to live, like, when I was married to this woman, man, and her, you know, her family worth $30 million, and you know, and they got trust funds. Like, she had $1 million trust fund since the age of 6 years old. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, anything, yo, listen, I ain't gonna front. Now, you know us having Islamic background. Listen, they had me believing in Christmas. Like, listen, I was like a kid. Whatever I wanted, they got it. You know me, like that Mac we was just looking at. I got one of those for Christmas. It was nothing. They dropped that $2,500 like it was nothing. I had a big movie camera. Anything I wanted, bro. And I just always thought, I want to be him. You feel what I'm saying? I want to be able to do that for my kids, man. I want it, like, it's nothing. Like, oh, you need a house? All right, I'm going to buy you a house. You got a year. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it was. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, you got a year before you even got to start paying on it. I'm going to pay it for a year. You know what I mean? When they turn 16, they got a car brand new off the lot. Like, that's what they told me. I went to go buy a used car. They like, we don't do car payments.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, pay that all off. Yeah. I'm like, wait, that's because the car was like 13.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I put 16. When I traded in, 600 was off that. They like, no, pay that off. Dropped it in our bank account. Like, no, we don't do car payments. Yeah. That's just gonna cost you. You know how much you're gonna pay it.
Yeah, all that. They start breaking
That's
down.
That's what I'm talking about. It just dropped the 12 in the bank account.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah,
baby, we spending that. Listen, they wouldn't even let us pay the whole thing off. Yeah. You feel me? Like, and it's just life like that. You know what I mean? And I just think back, like, you know, man, like, listen, man, I appreciate where I'm at today, bro. I appreciate every moment. I used to tell them this shit all the time, and that's why I'm glad, you know. Shout out to Monster Ben, you know what I mean? Little bro. It's like, I tell him, and I love it because he doing it. He doing, you know how you practice what you preach, or they say practice what you preach. I haven't been practicing it as much. Like, he been practicing it. Just enjoy. Look, we made it, bro. We alive. Yeah. We ain't in jail. We free. You feel what I'm saying? We alive, bro. That's it.
That's it.
Ain't nothing else to be worried about, man. Bills and shit, that shit gonna come and it's gonna go. Women, they gonna come and they gonna go, man. It's a situation, yo, we alive. We made it. Yep. We survived the hell that we grew up in, bro. Yep. And it's like, I'm enjoying every day from here on.
That too. Yep. First of all, I told him I'm proud of him. I say, yo,
man.
Whatever you want to, like, bro, can't nobody ever take nothing from you. You a man. Never. You a man. You personify that all day, bro. All day. Like, because when people look at my story, they don't even see your story. Like, my shit is kind of overshadowing you. But I try to make sure people know. I went to jail at 15. I mean, at 16. My brother was out here at 15. True. He was still out here. True. You know what I mean? With 2 sisters. Well, 3. My little sister was just born. And a mother that was going through what she was going through. True. And he had kids coming in. True. And he didn't run from none of that. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Listen. At 15.
That was the model, you know what I mean, for all of us, because he always had his kids. He always had a roof over his kids' head. You know what I mean? He listen, man. He took care of us. Yeah. Shit, that nigga took care of me. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Every time I come home from jail, like, them always came to see me. Yep. You know what I mean? He always made sure I had money on my books. Yep. Nigga, when I came home from jail, I had a couch until I get on my feet, till I meet, you know, find a hoe. Yeah, they find me a place to live. But listen, Ben was I always give him that, you know what I mean? Because he was a father, you know what I mean, to his kids. All they like, they can't never say what we went through. You feel what I'm saying? Because he always made sure they had everything. He wanted the best at that. You know,
he started crying. He like, you made me cry. I said, yo, shit, I shouldn't even hold it in no more. We grown. We gotta let that stuff out. But I'm like, bro, you my role model, man. I look at you like you a man. You a man before a lot of us became men. True story, and somebody was just telling Chuck the Don said the same thing to me like 2 weeks ago. He was like, yo, bro. He like, yo, your brother always had the plan, man. Yeah. And we ain't even listen. Yeah. He said, bro had the plan, we ain't even listen.
Ain't that crazy? He always did.
He said, because we know, because he was a little younger than us, and we didn't look at it like that. He said, but now I sit back. He was in the car. He's like, now I sit back and I just look and say, yo, little bro had the plan.
Yeah. Ever since, like, when you left, look, this what we gonna do. Yeah. He had the plug. He knew he had us working shifts. Like, Bill was a little Bill back there. That's why Big Ben respected him. Yeah. Man, he had us working shifts, man, like a job. Yeah. So I knew what time it was time for me to go out. Or one nigga go to New York, it's your turn to go to New York. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, I swear, man, he had that shit operate. We was eating. Yeah. You know what I mean? We was eating, bro. And it's just like, you know, it's like, and it always been playing. Even when we got the truck, like, we started that knuckle butt. Me and him, and then, like, me and Bum just had the CDs and DVDs, and Steve O.D. had the ice cream truck. You know what I mean? So now it's September. It's about to start getting cold.
Ice cream ain't
you know what I mean? Ice cream ain't doing that, but it's also we out there cold. It's getting cold. We out there like DVD. What up? Yeah, we got that new R. Kelly in the closet. You know what I mean? And so we sitting there, Steve O.D. pulled up on us, and we like, yo, man, you know what? Why we don't put this shit in the truck? You know what I mean? Yeah. And park the truck, and we rented out the truck. And that's how that shit started. And we put out, and then we had Maniac and Big Regan. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's how we started Knuckle Bust. You know what I mean?
Knuckle Bust, yeah.
Knuckle Bust.
And you could see it, like, you ride around the city. Somebody had it the other day, man. Jarock had seen it. I think it was on 4th Ave or something. I think they painted it too. They painted it a different color recently. Good. Yeah, but somebody had it looking at it like, damn, bro set that trend right there. He said that right there. now, now that thing just everybody out here with
Yeah,
these
it's literally, yeah. But before everybody was doing it, y'all.
Yep,
We did it, man.
Yeah, you did it. It's a lot, man.
Yeah.
But you forget about it. But we ain't trying to take credit for all that stuff. It ain't even about that. It's just like
right.
being happy that we survived a lot of this stuff, bro. Man. And it was trauma, and we just happy the impact of that trauma ain't have us in a place where we couldn't come back from. Like you said, I'm so happy about your sobriety, and you walked away out of that, and then you still dealing with it.
I did it on my own this time. Yeah. Like it was no police. Like, cause the first time, like I said, I went to PA. That's where I was getting at. I left Jersey because of the 2 strikes. Went to PA thinking I could do the shit I was doing in Jersey, and they tried to boof me. I ain't get caught with nothing. I sold it to an undercover 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And that 3rd time they grabbed me. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about I served them 3 dimes, 6 bags of heroin. They try to give me 10 years for each one of them shit. Fucking with PA, the Commonwealth. Don't go to PA with that shit. You know what I mean? They try to give me 30 years, bro. I copped out to a 2 to 26. You feel what I'm saying? Wow. And it's like, and I had to walk it off. But that was what saved my life. Yeah. That's why I don't regret, you gotta live with regret. Like, I don't stress about the past because I learned from that. I didn't realize I was an addict. Yeah. I ain't understand. Like, I used to make fun of them at first when I started going to meetings. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? I could stop whenever nah. I didn't realize, I put that shit in me, bro. All best is all, because that's why, when you was locked up, you know what I mean? I wasn't in my right frame of body. We finally reconnected, and I'm so happy to talk, but then I'm all emotional and shit, and drinking and shit. Like, nigga, you don't understand, Jay. You ain't out here with us, nigga. And like, I'm ashamed of myself for that day, bro. That's why I apologize to you for, you know what I mean? I know you get over it now, you happy to be home and shit, but I just remember we going through it, because I was not me, bro. I wasn't in my right frame of mind. So it's like me getting clean. It helped me see so much, man. It helped me see, you know what I mean? And that's why people don't get it. It ain't that I don't want to have, because I can have fun. I'm still a wild nigga without that shit.
You know what I mean? Of course. That's what we have to learn.
You know what I mean?
We can have fun without that.
I can have fun, man. I'm still the life of the party without putting no substance. We needed that back then for the courage. You feel what I'm saying? To like you said, not deal with our reality, to forget about the past. But nah, you gotta deal with it. You gotta confront that shit, nip it in the bud early, and then still be okay with it. All right, shit. I can't pay that bill today, but I'm gonna pay it. Come on.
Yeah, that's what you gotta be. I just telling my lady that the other day, we was out there talking, and I was like, she was like, about in regards to that, and I was saying, you know what? I like her. I love my lady because of that, because that's how she functions, that's how she lives. She like, if it's dead, it's dead. If it ain't, and we gotta know who we are. We ain't the type of people that ain't gonna survive.
That's right.
So we ain't even gotta think about none of that.
God.
Like that's my ride or die, my soldier. When she said that, it was just like, wow, like, that's when I'm at with it. Like, and I talked to some guys, because you got guys coming out of prison running 100 miles per hour for bread, for money. I'm like, y'all forgetting, we just did 30-something years. And they took the most important thing from us was relationship and the connection to humans. And you come out here and you running from money, and you wonder why you struggling?
That part, bro. And that's why I was getting at, because you see, when you first asked me in the beginning, like, yo, what you doing? It's like the first thought be like, I'm out here getting it. I'm grinding every day. I'm up at 7 a.m. Nah, man. I'm at peace. Like, before I jump out there and get on my grind and get the money, I meditate, bro. And I might get lost. I might start at like 8, 7 in the morning, you know what I mean? And then next thing I know, it's 10:30, bro. Because I be really connected. I'm really trying to get to a place where I don't never want to lose again, you know what I mean? I don't never want to go backwards. I want to stay moving forward. And I know in order to find, I got to sit myself still, you know what I mean? I got to get at peace with myself and love me for me, you know what I mean? Not looking for outside validation and what nobody else think, you know what I mean? Because shit, if we live by other people's ideas of who we are, then who the fuck is we? You know what I mean? And that's what we did. Like, we had an image. We had a block. You know what I mean? Like, I done been in situations where people came at me confrontational, and I ain't have to go and then even after the fact, I know I could make some phone calls and leave a nigga, you know what I mean? But it's like, I ain't there no more. I don't want no parts to play in none of that, man. Like, I'm at a place now, I don't care what people think. I think whatever about me. Because I know what I'm capable of, but I ain't who I am no more. I don't want to be there. Like, I'm at a place where I'm trying to practice nonviolence. I don't even want to hurt nobody, man, for nothing.
And it took a long time to get there. Like, I was just saying that today when I was at walking past one of the schools, and I think you seen the post when I was talking about I was in Cleveland, And I made a big correction on that. So it wasn't my cousin Rajan, it was Raheem.
Okay.
He got into a situation at the school and it started a family fight. Right? So we in defensive family, we got busy, right? But the whole thing is we didn't look at it like it was violence. That it was another way to handle that. We just did what we normally do. Growing up in the projects, yo.
That's right.
Somebody do something to your family.
Yeah.
We all in.
We all in.
So
somebody getting punched.
Somebody getting punched. So I was standing there. I was like, damn, here I am standing in front of this school 40 years later, and I'm dealing with this safe passage, which is to put a shield for violence, against violence, so these kids can get to school. Back,
yeah, that's crazy. Like, I commend you, bro.
Home, I'm like, and I'm like, and the reason why I'm just sitting there, like, the reason why they needed it, because violence didn't happen then. Regardless if it was 40 years ago, we participated in that. You know what I'm saying? So this is a part of that school history, whether it was, and then whatever happened after that. You know what I mean? Bro. But I'm like, damn, so here I am now. I'm on the opposite end of that. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what?
Right.
This is crazy. This is mad. Wow. But what I had to go through to get there. You know what I mean? Yeah. To realize that it was a different solution. The guy, whoever, shouldn't have put their hands on Raheem, but our reaction, that shit was overkill. Right?
We should do. We always overkill.
Yeah, we should have.
Was you out here when? I remember I ain't even going into it. Yeah. Because, but that's what we used to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, it's like we come a long way, bro. Definitely. All these years later, you know what I mean? And I just commend you on what you're doing and giving back part.
Too, bro.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, it really makes me feel like, you know what I mean, we played a part in how our city was developed, you know what I mean? Like, Prince Street was the hub of the city, you feel what I'm saying? Like, we really, like, to this day, I be meeting people claiming our hood. I'll be like, what building you from? You know what I mean? All out of state. And they be like, yeah, I'm from Prince Street, because people know our hood had a reputation. It was like a little city, you feel what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, we played a part. I remember a couple years back, maybe like 10 years back, I was back home. And, I'm trying to, back then, I'm still caught up in the game coach. I'm around, you know what I mean? Like, going around the old hoods and things of that. So, the young ladies is out there and I'm trying to impress them. And I'm like, yeah, what? They like, who you? And I'm like, what? Like, man, I made this city what it is. She was like, well, you need to go to hell. Yo! I said, damn.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's like, so I think about shit like that when I see you giving back, when I see you being a part of these kids' lives and really showing them, like, using your life, you know what I mean, to be a guide to them, to show them they don't gotta do that, you know what I mean? So, and they might not reach them all, but it's gonna reach something. It's gonna be that one who gonna remember that day you came to talk to them. You know
That's what made me think about that, because when I was sitting in there, and the stuff, even especially with your pops, even when you sit back, right, at the weirdest moments or the weirdest times, right, what they told you was the most prevalent thing that sticks out to you, right? It ain't all that other stuff. Like, when you in those spaces, you be like, damn, if I would just listen to what they said to me earlier, and that's the space I operate in.
Right.
I operate in the space that you got to say it.
That's right.
To them, right?
Right.
Because they might not get it now. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, that'll be what stick out to them, because that's what stuck out to me. It ain't all the other stuff. And think about what my pop said. My pop said, I'll never forget this. He said, people show you who they are in the beginning. You either choose to believe it or not. That they show you, he said, the very moment they meet you, they show you who they are. You either believe it, or not. And then next you know, here it is 10 years later, you thinking about some shit, and you be like, oh shit, I seen him flinch. Because that identifier, or what they call it in psychology, that I forgot what they call it. It's a specifier. Okay. But that little thing that you see, that little twitch or something that you seen, it just blew right by you, because you into the person, because you got an attraction to this person, man or female.
True stuff.
We ain't talking about physical. We just talking about connection. So now you ignore that, because you got a vibe that you feel that you can utilize, or that's good or beneficial to you moving. So you ignore that little twitch, and then you're in a situation, and that same shit that you seen come right out.
Like, damn, it was always there.
Damn.
It was always there.
And it reminded me, like, one time me and Rock was sitting in the car. He had just got his CRX, that red one. Right. Mm-hmm. So we sitting in there and we looking at CDs, CDs that just came out. Mm-hmm. So he had the Mary J. Blige CD had just dropped. So me and him sitting in the car with the Mary J. Blige CD, right? And I looked out, we sitting in front of in the parking lot in front of 85, and I looked out to the side and I see a white van sitting by the end of the parking lot. So I said, Rock, what the hell that white van doing right there? You see that? He like, yeah. Right? And we just said that real quick. Now, flash forward 6 months later, I get locked up. I'm in the gateway. Fed showed me a picture. Guess what?
You and Rock sitting in the CRX.
Yeah, from that angle.
That's crazy.
So I seen it and I chose to ignore it.
Crazy, bro.
I seen it and I chose to ignore it. I'm like, wow. And then I ended up reading this book years later called Band of Brothers. It's about, corrupt cops in New York, and they talk about that, and they tell you that the feds and stuff like that, they would sit something so obvious in front of you, and be watching you from it. It'd be so obvious, and you look right at it, like a brick, and they said literally like a big white van. I was like, dang. That's crazy. And be watching you from it. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy, man. I look right at that van. They got him sitting there, and they got me sitting there like this. They got the side of our face. So I know it's from that angle. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And I seen that picture, I was like, yo. So I always thought about what my father said, like, people show you who you are, who they are in the beginning, and you just choose. And that thing was right there, right in my face, and I just ignored it. Right? So that keeps me looking at it.
Look at it from all points of view.
That's how you gotta do it.
You can look at it from relationships.
Everything.
They lied. It might have been a little lie, but still, when you know your word is everything, and you see somebody that told you something, they ain't show up when they supposed to show up. All of that. It's like, yeah, that's why I said it. And you see, it's so crazy how even this moment transpired, because I didn't know. It's like I said, I was here 2 weeks ago, and I'm just like, no, you know what I mean? Like my daughter ain't want to leave. And I'm just like, I just kept I'm here for a reason. I don't know why. You feel what I'm saying? And it always boiled right down to, a moment. I ain't see this happening at all. You know what I mean? But everything happened for a reason.
Definitely appreciate you coming.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you having me and inviting me out. You know what I mean?
Now we gotta go track down some of this food each time.
Yeah, for real. But I appreciate you, man.
Y'all stay safe. You know what it is.
Y'all know what it is. Neighborhood.
The Iron Echo.
Yes, sir. On it.
30 years in the making.
30 on Iron Echo, man. Check my man out, J.
We just getting started. Y'all stay safe.
All right. Word. That was dope.